Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM and tonight's lineup of films starring Louis Hayward. Popular leading man in the 1930s and 40s, Hayward combined his looks and talent with a roguish charm that allowed him to play sword-fighting heroes, bantering detectives, and smirking cads with a signature degree of confidence. We begin tonight with the movie that really made Louis Hayward a star. Released by United Artists in 1939, directed by James Whale, The Man in the Iron Mask. Inspiration for the picture came from the final novel in an Alexandre Dumas trilogy about the Three Musketeers. For his story, Dumas took a real French mystery and embellished it with literary flair. It's about a man imprisoned for more than 30 years during the reign of King Louis XIV, a prisoner whose true identity officials went to great lengths to conceal, including covering his face with a mask. After nearly 400 years and dozens of debunked theories, historians still haven't been able to identify the prisoner. One detail they're all pretty sure of is that the mask was likely made of velvet, not iron, which would make for an entirely different movie, although with an equally intriguing title, I'd see The Man in the Velvet Mask. Another fabrication, but one that sure makes a good story, is the proposed identity put forth in our movie tonight that the man in the Iron Mask was King Louis XIV's secret twin brother, Philippe. Louis Hayward plays the dual roles, which required a stand-in for the split-screen scenes, a task given to British newcomer Peter Cushing years before he became a horror star for Hammer Studios. Director James Whale appreciated Cushing's work well enough to assign him a one-line role in the film as second officer, giving Cushing his first credited role in a film, a fitting start provided by the director of Frankenstein to the actor who went on to play Dr. Frankenstein 6 times in movies for Hammer Studios starting in the 1950s. From 1939, also with Joan Bennett, Warren William, Alan Hale, and Joseph Schildkraut, The Man in the Iron Mask. While Louis Hayward excelled at playing a variety of character types, he did have a propensity for the adventure heroes and costume dramas like The Man in the Iron Mask. Despite his ability to play the occasional, in his words, rotten seed or villainous charmer in more contemporary stories, Hayward said, "Nobody really cared. They just handed me another sword and doublet and said smile." There is no doubt the genre served him well, especially once he started demanding a percentage of the profits from his films made from 1949 on, whether shown in theaters or on television, and in perpetuity, a relatively new and lucrative contract negotiation in his day. 13 years after playing twins Louis and Philippe in The Man in the Iron Mask, Hayward took on the role of D'Artagnan in a 1952 gender-swapping version of the story, Lady in the Iron Mask. In another nod to the 1939 version, Alan Hale's role as Porthos in the film we just saw was played by his son, Alan Hale Jr., later the skipper from Gilligan's Island. Coming up, Louis Hayward returns from the War of the Roses to find his father murdered in a 1948 film adaptation of a Robert Louis Stevenson novel. The Black Arrow is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, The Black Arrow, then Captain Pirate, and later, The Saint in New York. We've got a halo for Louis Hayward tonight.